Hello, everyone. I'm Jeremy Chen, Product Manager for SaaS Intelligent Decisioning. With me today, we have Alex G., who is a data scientist at SaaS, and Bart Vierbergen, Senior Partner Technical Architect from Microsoft. We'll be talking about hyperautomation and how SaaS decisioning and Microsoft's Power Platform can help customers accelerate their journey to hyperautomation. So automation has been around for a long time. Many core business processes have been automated. These automated processes are usually purpose-built and often with a decisioning component. But if you are wondering what hyperautomation is, you might have heard a few other terms that basically describe the same concept. For instance, digital process automation or intelligent process automation. The term hyperautomation appeared in 2019 as one of the top technology trends. There is no question that we are in the age of hyperautomation today. We benefit from it all the time, whether it's submitting a reimbursement report, chatting with a help desk bot, or opening a new investment account, we interact with hyper-automated processes. Hyperautomation transforms business processes and delivers reliable and scalable outcomes, while at the same time improving operational efficiency and reducing development cost. Hyperautomation includes four key components: business process management, robotic process automation, AI, and decisioning tools are assembled within a low-code development platform to achieve outcomes as efficiently as possible. In today's discussion, Bart will talk about how Microsoft supports low-code development with the Power Platform, while Alex and I will highlight SaaS AI and decisioning capabilities. Many organizations have started their journey to hyperautomation. Here we have an example showing a bank's journey to hyperautomation. The level of maturity spans nascent, developing, mature, and best in class. When fully automated, the bank will achieve full digitization to reduce costs and improve customer experience. It will be able to reduce onboarding times to 3 to 5 days for large customers and enable straight-through processing for SME lending. It expects revenue growth through unsecured and secured lending and reduction of call center volumes and waste. Both Microsoft and SaaS have been supporting customers' automation effort with success. Microsoft is considered a leader in the low-code, no-code application development space, as well as in the robotic processing automation space. SaaS Decisioning is recently named a leader in the digital decisioning space. And now the two leading platforms have joined force. With the recent release of SaaS Decisioning Connector for the Microsoft Power Platform, customers will have an even easier way to develop automated processes that are driven by best-of-the-breed analytics and decisioning to achieve true intelligent automation. So how does the Power Platform make it easy for developing automated business processes and applications? What sort of hyperautomation use cases has the Power Platform been able to support? Let's hear it from Bart.
Thank you, Jeremy, for handing it over. And we are indeed seeing surging digital demand. Over 500 million apps will be created in the next 5 years, more than in the last 40 years, while 50% of digital work can be automated with current technology. On top of that, we are seeing that a lot of organizations are struggling with not having access to enough developers. There's already a 1 million developer shortfall, whereas 86% of companies are struggling today to hire technical talent. And then, of course, there's the lockdown, which is also impacting 42% of US employees who are working remote, whereas 5.2% contraction in the global GDP is already occurring. So teaching everyone to code is not a solution going forward, and we will need to find a new paradigm in form of turning everyone into a developer with low-code and no-code solutions. So low-code is empowering every developer to go faster. Citizen developers, as well as IT administrators, as well as pro developers. Looking at the Microsoft Cloud, the Microsoft Power Platform is a set of tools for low-code, no-code application composition, resting on Microsoft Azure and fully equipped to extend Dynamics 365, Microsoft 365, connect to LinkedIn and GitHub. Power Platform consists of four main components: Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, as well as virtual agents. Let's have a deeper look at those different components of the framework. Power BI is the toolset that is being used today by business analysts to visualize data, whereas Power Apps is a solution set that allows business developers to easily compose business applications to be used on mobile devices as well as in browsers by connecting to business applications. Power Automate is supporting the paradigm that Jeremy was already alluding to, hyper-automation. We are living in a complex world with hundreds of business applications, and we want to instrument business processes across those applications. Power Automate is really delivering on that promise, allowing citizen developers as well as IT pros, as well as pro developers to easily automate processes across business applications. And finally, with Power Virtual Agents, citizen developers can compose bots that can connect to any communication channel that an organization would be using. These are some names of customers that are currently already deploying Microsoft Power Platform. And to give you some more insight, we can today communicate that over 86% of Fortune 500 companies are using Power Apps, and even 97% of Fortune 500 companies are using some components from Microsoft Power Platform. One of the things that are really paramount to Microsoft is to deliver cloud and on-premise connectivity to all your business applications. And we are really excited to announce today with SAS that there is a SAS Intelligent Decisioning Connector that allows companies to instrument processes across business applications and to infuse those with SAS decisioning insights. So with that, let's have a look at a demo of that SAS Intelligent Decisioning Connector and how that can be used in a real business application. The use case here is Petico, a retail network of apparel sales outlets. And what we are going to do right now is we are going to switch over to a demo. And within that demo, we will see a user within a retail outlet using a mobile application that has been created by a citizen developer. This mobile application allows retail outlet staff to verify whether yes or no a piece of apparel can be returned. So what I'm going to do right now for a specific customer within that demo app, I am going to have a look into the order history. And looking into this order history, we see that our customer has bought a t-shirt one. So let's have a look at that t-shirt one, and let's have a look whether yes or no we can return this item. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to receive all of the details about the item, and it is even going to be possible. Let's have a look, for example, and make a quick picture of my computer keyboard, and you will see that AI is going to be used to document what that picture is about. So we can already verify whether yes or no this is a computer keyboard. We can also quickly scan the barcode of the piece of apparel to verify whether yes or no this is the item that was originally procured by the customer. And we see that this is green. So this is indeed the piece of apparel which has been. The reason for return here is does not fit. And my piece of comment is going to be, don't like it. And with that, I am going to send that to SAS Intelligent Decisioning, who is going to check whether yes or no this item can be returned. And we immediately see advice which says to the retail outlet FTE, hey, this item cannot be returned as it has been purchased more than 4 weeks ago. So we do see here a nice blend of connectivity to a business application, which could have been Microsoft Dynamics 365 or Salesforce or SAP for order history, while at the same time we are using SAS Intelligent Decisioning to decide whether yes or no that piece of apparel can be returned. So far for the demo, and with that I'll hand it off to Alex.
Now, as you've seen, the Power Platform is a leader in the no-code, low-code application development space. And SAS has now built a data connector that supports integrating SAS Intelligent Decisioning with the Power Platform. The SAS Decisioning connector is available to use for all SAS customers. SAS Intelligent Decisioning on SAS Viya combines several capabilities, including business rules management, decision processing, whether in real time or in batch, providing decision governance, and integrating SAS advanced analytics. Now, when you build a business process using Power Automate, you can also include SAS decisioning as a step in your Power Automate flow. So this allows you to automate processes with intelligent decisioning as a step, managing your business rules, models, and code that drives your critical business logic centrally in SAS Viya. This means that it is extremely easy to build and automate business processes that integrate with SAS decisioning. Speaking of automating processes, let's talk about an example of automating components of a model ops workflow. In this case, running a pipeline for retraining a model using Azure DevOps pipelines, triggering an approval flow using Power Automate, and registering the model to SAS Model Manager. In this example, when code for a new model is pushed to Git, this triggers an automated Azure Pipelines build process to connect to Viya, train or retrain the model, and save the outputs while triggering a Power Automate flow to send out notifications and approval emails. Once the necessary approvals have been made, the Power Automate flow proceeds to the next step, which registers that model into SAS Model Manager, which is consumed in the end application, such as the decision flow in Intelligent Decisioning. So at this point, let me jump into the demo to show you what I mean by that. So here you can see I have my Azure pipelines defined here. And upon event in Git, when new code is pushed to this repository, we build a container that contains our Python packages to train the model. And then we create the environment which maps our Viya connection information, our login and password information, and then we run our code or Jupyter Notebook that retrains the model. And then if there's a register model parameter that's set to true, we also register that model into SAS Model Manager. And finally, we publish the pipeline artifacts, which include the outputs of the model training in the form of the Jupyter Notebook, as well as our analytic store, which is the serialized model to be published. And now let me jump into SAS Model Manager. And here you can see that we have a dashboard that is an overview of all of the models that we have published into our repository. So you can see a breakdown by the type of the model by score code, whether that's a SAS data step, a DS2, or Python. And over here, you can see that we have different versions of our merchandise model that is used within the decision flow. Every time that new code is pushed to train the model, that pipeline runs and pushes this model to our model manager repository. Now, jumping into the intelligent decisioning flow, as part of the model ops lifecycle, now intelligent decisioning can help to expedite the operationalization of those analytical models, such as the SAS models or even open source models developed in Python. Here in Azure DevOps, we can see our pipeline configuration, which is triggered every time a commit is pushed to our repository. And when that happens, we build a container that contains our Python packages to train our model. And we also map our environment variables for the connection info and user info and password to connect to VIA. And next, we run our training script, which is a Jupyter notebook that we save the outputs of our model training. And then we also have a parameter called register model, which when set to true, registers that model to SAS Model Manager. Lastly, we save the outputs of our pipeline, such as the notebook that was run for the training, as well as our SAS A-store, which is an analytics store that contains the model itself, to be published to SAS Model Manager. Jumping into Model Manager, the first thing you can see is that we have a dashboard which shows an overview of all the different models broken down by the score code type. So you can see that we have models that are from SAS Datastep code, we have SAS DS2 code, as well as Python. And down here in the actual models, you can see that we have a merchandise gradient boosting models that's registered to Model Manager every time that pipeline completes. It trains the model, publishes that analytics store to our model repository here. And each model is contained in its own version. And now jumping into the intelligent decisioning flow. So again, when we talk about the model ops lifecycle, intelligent decisioning can help to expedite the operationalization of those models, including SAS models, as well as models developed with open source, such as Python. For example, you can embed Python code in this decision flow. You can have SQL code that looks up some data. If we go down to the lower part of the flow, you can see that we're determining the return message and based on some requirements. Lastly, we record the some information about this flow to have audit information about which variables, which rules have been set during the execution of this flow. And that is where you can begin to understand what is the breakdown, for example, right, of return items by product category. What are the top reasons for returning the products? What about the returns over time? Which time period contains the most returns? And so if I go to the return service analysis tab, we can see a breakdown of why do customer return items, as well as broken down by the category. So the ability to audit and report this data brings a lot of governance and it helps business stakeholder to gain insight into how the decisions were made. Underpinning the decisions across the different solutions and use cases are the components powered by the SAS VIA platform, which includes data, discovery, and deployment. These are the end-to-end capabilities to support the data pipelining, machine learning, and advanced analytics, as well as deployment tools for managing models, decisions, and deploying to your target applications like the Power Platform. Some of the use cases that we see intelligent decisioning supporting are processes in credit services, fraud prevention, manufacturing, personalized marketing, just to name a few. Lastly, I just want to quickly cover a couple of specific components in our machine learning and advanced analytics. The first is computer vision. SAS supports the capabilities for image processing, image augmentation, as well as a wide range of deep learning architectures that supports image classification, object detection, image segmentation, etc., as well as deploying to runtimes like ONNX, SAS event stream processing, and finally batch or in real time. In our text analytics, we provide a comprehensive solution to solve the challenge of identifying and categorizing key textual data. In SAS Visual Text Analytics, you can use the capabilities to build and automate models to do, for example, concept extraction, text parsing, sentiment analysis, and using our deep learning models as well, which supports recurrent neural networks and transformer-based architectures like BERT. You could perform tasks like text generation, semantic similarity, and speech to text. So with that, I will hand it back to Jeremy. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Before we conclude this presentation, I'd like to quickly summarize why SAS decisioning is uniquely positioned to drive hyperautomation. This comes down to 3 C's: connected, contextual, and continuous. Connected decisions break down barriers between organizations, applications, and domains. Connected decisions ensure strategies are applied in a uniform way to customers across channels. SAS decisioning provides a centralized place to manage all decisions, including machine learning models. Second, contextual. In other words, decisions must be personalized, treating each customer as a unique individual, not just part of a cohort. This means we must take advantage of a lot more data in making the decisions. SAS decisioning makes it really easy for users to bring in multitude of data sources and integrate the data into the decision processes. And lastly, continuous. Not only that we want to apply decisions in every step of a process, decisions themselves must continuously evolve and improve. SAS decisioning, as part of SAS overall analytics platform, can leverage many of the platform's analytic tools to help improve and optimize the decisions continuously. To support the 3 C's, I want to highlight a unique nature of SAS decisioning platform: the ability to deploy decisions into a wide range of application architectures. This basically means you can design a decision once and deploy it anywhere. And this is why SAS decisioning, together with the Power Platform, can help accelerate your journey to full hyperautomation. Thank you for sharing the last 20 minutes of your time with us. I'd like to leave you with one final question. What task are you ready to automate?